Got to ask a question from my wife because where we live on a dry hilltop down in Crystal Valley Ranch in Castle Rock. I tell you what, we struggle to put anything in the soil on top of that hill and make it thrive. I really suspect, but I think you need you to tell me, where'd you get the soil? Is this from here, from the site as you developed, or is this kind of more like the gardening soil that we would buy at a Home Depot?
It's more like the gardening soil. So it's actually a soil-less media. So it's peat moss, sphagnum peat moss based, and then we add a few additives. We use sawdust from Japanese beetle kill pine trees. So we're bringing in sawdust from the mountains, and we use to incorporate that into the soil. And the reason we do that is for porosity, for the roots to have oxygen, but more importantly, it actually is a water retainer. So peat moss itself is not the greatest water retention media, but by adding sawdust, it alleviates that problem, so it doesn't repel water. And then we also add rice hulls, and rice hulls also give a water holding capacity to our soil. So the media mix that we're using is a little different than what most growers would use, and it just allows more water retainage and less headache for the consumer or for the store level to keep things wet and happy.
So then the nutrient load, is that kind of, you talked about treating your water. Is the nutrient load really coming in from the water, or is it inherent to that soil mix you just talked about?
A little bit of both. So there's a starter charge that we add into the mix that gives us a kickstart for the plants for about a 3-month period. And then every time that we're watering the plant, we're injecting nutrients. So it's a small dose, but they're getting it every time. And so I always tell end consumers, if you can't give an injected dose to your plants every time you water, then put in, a couple granulars of Osmocote, 3 to 6 month long slow release fertilizer into our pots, and that'll keep the nutrients going that the plants are requiring.